G'day guys, welcome to Rumble's Fish Room. So we're doing another dodgy patch job on the Stingray tank. You guys know that the Stingray tank is pretty much ruined at this stage. I want to replace it, but it's just a funding thing at the moment. Like I said in the video the other day, did I say it on the main channel or the members? Basically it's going to cost me about $3,000 to replace the tank, and I don't have that much to throw into the room at the moment, so this repair is another temporary one. I'll show you what it is. Alright, so my airline's blown off the airlift, and basically this is PVC pipe and I've fiberglassed around it. Now the problem is I can't get a fitting on there. So what I did is I cut a piece of standard PVC and cut it small enough that it slips in. Now the problem is, because it's underwater, I can't actually glue this in. So I had a bit of a setup going there, and it has lasted a few years, but it's fallen off, and when it's fallen off, it's actually ripped this airline out. This airline used to be connected to a bit in the bottom. So if anybody doesn't know, outside that pipe actually goes 6 feet underground, and that's what creates the flow, is the air lifting up through the pipe. I'll actually show you guys. Alright, so excuse the mess back here guys, but I'm sure everyone's got a bit of junk behind their shed. So that's the pipe that comes out of the pond, goes into this filter. It's actually an old esky. Esky freezer. Same thing, different. Oh, not really the same thing once. What's going on here? It's actually... Oh, this is overflowing because the filter's turned off. That's alright. So this pipe comes through here, and sorry, I said 6 feet underground. It's not, it's 6 foot in total. So see that black lid there? That's the top of a 220 litre wine barrel. So I haven't got one out here. Oh yeah, I do. So see that red barrel there? There's actually one of them buried in the ground. Now I've always planned on replacing that barrel. I've got the blue one back there. It's plastic welded together. That's actually meant to go in here one day, but I just never got around to it. Maybe if we rebuild the tank inside, I'll redo the filtration. I actually built two, but it was too much flow. It was actually to the point where it was got a stick in my foot. It was sucking this filter too low, and it was just creating loud noises because there was so much bubbling, and it wasn't pulling water through. So I cut it back. I'm only running one of them. So yeah, I'm not really going to fully explain an airlift in this video. So that's just behind the shed. This is where the roots were coming in the other days. In the video the other day. There's the dog just chilling. What are you eating, mate? Jack, what are you eating? I'm going to see what the dog's eating. Alright guys, so I've cut this. So when that closes, that's the exact size of the internal of the pipe. So I'm going to use some YouTube magic and I'll glue that together. And just like that, it's glued together. Now, I've got to glue this into the pond. The only problem is it's underwater, so like the glue not really going to stick. Now, obviously, I wouldn't recommend anybody doing this in a fish tank. This tank and filter included is 5,000 litres. So me getting a little bit of this glue in the water, I've done it before and it hasn't harmed the fish, but if you have a 100 litre tank and you get drips of this in it, I feel like it would be way more detrimental to the fish than in a 5,000 litre tank. Now I'm not a chemist, so I don't know whether that's 100% true, but basically I wouldn't go pouring this in my fish tank. So obviously this one's an off-camera one as well. I don't even know if this is going to stick. Maybe if Maddie's watching, he's a plumber, he can comment below saying. But like, I think because there's water in that pipe, when I put the glue on this pipe and shove it in, it's not going to get past the water. So this is definitely only a temporary fix. Alright, so I ended up gluing the T on there. That actually feels really solid. I'm actually surprised. One thing that sucks about this is this pipe has a pressure chamber on the bottom of it, and if you know what a pressure chamber is, you'll understand that it sucks that now it's just an open pipe, but as you saw outside, there's pretty much nothing I can do about the fact that it's just an open pipe now, unless I cut that out and take it out. Obviously it is doable, but I don't really want to. I could actually take it out and simplify it all. I could cut it down so that I could cut it out and put one pipe there and take out the second one, but we're sticking to the theme of bodging up for now. I know you guys must be cringing watching this. So many bodge ups on this pond. Like, you guys will know, like, if you're new to the channel, like, the room isn't bodged up. Like, everything is done properly. Just this tank it's definitely the downfall of the room. The theme of this tank is just repair it for now until I can put the new one in. So don't think that I'm doing stuff this dodgy every day. So now I'm gonna cut this down and put it back on there. The reason for cutting it down, I want less weight hanging off this. So this, if you didn't see it before, this used to sit all the way out here like that. So there's a lot of weight hanging off that fitting. So I'm just trying to minimize the weight, and I'm actually going to bring that back in there, and I'm going to cut this elbow down. It doesn't even really need the elbow on it, but oh, that's right, the water, this gets that much flow that the water flows over and spills out without an elbow on there. Alright, so before I put that elbow on, I want to show you guys the flow of this. So when you first turn it on, there's no restriction of the filter because the water level in the filter and the tank is equal. So that the first few seconds is when you actually see the full potential of the airlift. So and then what happens is the pressure equalizes. I mean, not the water level in the sump drops, so it actually slows down. But like, it's pretty hard to see on camera, but it's actually like 12 to 15,000 litres per hour. Well, actually that first initial bit before the sump drops in water level, I reckon that would be 15 to 18,000 litres per hour. And from here is that kind of works. Still splashing a bit. I've got a 45. I wonder if I put a 45 on there. I might try that. I don't care if it splashes towards the tank. I don't want it splashing towards the wall because I end up with mold on that wall. Alright, so final rendition. I added a 45 there. It's not splashing now. It's much better. It's reasonably quiet. You guys probably can't even hear it with the directional mic. So you see those bubbles? There's still a few bubbles that come out of here. Can you see how far it's pushing them bubbles? This is a 90mm pipe, so the fact that, see how fast they're coming out, that's the flow rate that the water's coming through that pipe. So if you think about your canister filter that's got 12mm hoses and how fast the water comes out of that, it's probably, the bubbles would probably come out at a similar speed to that. Well, think about the surface area of a 12mm diameter compared to a 90mm diameter, and that'll kind of give you an idea of how much water is actually flowing out of this pipe. Nobody really believes the amount of water that comes out of these until they actually see one running in person. So if you don't understand how an airlift worked, it's the same as a sponge filter. So the air comes in the bottom and the air goes up. As the air's going up, it drags water with it. So then you get your flow. So your water is actually flowing. So this is exactly the same as a sponge filter, but a gazillion times the size. So that air pump pumps air down into that pipe. The air comes up that pipe, which is 6 foot long, and just creates that insane flow. Like, I wish you could see it. Like, it's just so much water. I think like maybe that angle there you can. So like my 15,000 litre koi pond runs off 2 of these. So like it's just, and the koi pond's actually on LP40s. This one's an LP60. I actually want this to be on an LP40. So if anybody lives in Perth and owns an LP40 and they want to upgrade to an LP60, swing me a message. I'll happily do a straight swap, even though that's a more expensive filter, because it'll cut my power costs down. And the only reason the 60 is on here is because I had it laying around. But yeah, bit of a side hustle there in this video. Anyway guys, what I thought was going to be a complete bodge up turned out to be alright. That pipe is actually solid. I thought it was going to just be like loosey-goosey and fall out, but the glue actually stuck. I don't know how. I glued that underwater, but come back to me in 3 weeks and I'll let you know. Someone comment below in a few weeks and say, is the pipe still holding? And I'll give you an honest answer. Anyway guys, I'm going to wrap the video up there. One thing I will tell you guys, I lost my male this happens every time. Yeah, polystigma. So I kind of told you guys the other day I was thinking about putting the younger ones in there. I'm going to clean that tank out and the young ones are going in there. You guys know the polystigma haven't been very healthy for a while now, and honestly I don't even think it was the fact that they are unhealthy that I lost the male. I think one of the females killed him. killed him. The joys of Africans. Someone came into my fish room the other day and he was like, I don't like fish that are aggro, that hurt each other, which is fair enough. There's a fair few people like that. I had to laugh and say to him, well, there's honestly probably nothing in my fish room that you'll like, because pretty much everything in my fish room wants to kill each other. And like, it's true. Oh, well actually I've got some Tanganyikans there which I'll show you in a later video that won't kill each other. But hang on, that doesn't even work, because the guy that came over was dropping the Tanganyikans off. So before he had dropped them off, there was no peaceful fish in the fish room. Would you class this? I can't even class the stingrays as peaceful, because one of my girls killed another girl the other month. So yeah, there's nothing peaceful in my fish room until now. I say until yesterday, maybe yesterday or the day before. Anyway, one of these days I got new fish and I showed the members, but I'll show you guys in a couple of days. Can you tell I'm tired? I just start rambling crap. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe for more, for your chance to win $200 gift card, hit that little red button below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.